Welcome to another PC Sports Cards question and answer session. This is PC Sports Cards. I was told that we should introduce ourselves every single time because some people don't know who we are yet. So we are the biggest group submitters. We are one of the biggest eBay consignment teams out there. We're sending about 12,000 cards per week into PSA, running about 2,000 auctions per week on eBay for us and for our customers, mostly for our customers. Right now we are recording this both on Instagram and up on our other camera for YouTube, so I can post it up there. This should be about 45 minutes to an hour. Usually we have a lot of activity in the Q&As. We're looking for you guys to ask your questions down below. And for those on YouTube, subscribe so you see when we put out some new content. So we're going to do a Q&A every week, every Tuesday, mostly we're trying for Tuesdays, on Instagram, and every Friday on YouTube and Facebook Live, so we can put it in both places. We're going to post it in both places, but we want you guys to subscribe, follow us, do everything so you could see what we have coming up. Right now, just as this week is going on, we've been working on doing a reveal video every day that we get an order back from PSA, and that's been 7 straight days. We had 6 orders come back yesterday, 4 orders come back on Friday, have 3 or 4 orders that are out for shipment right now, so they should be delivered today. So we're really banging through submissions. We have currently about 250,000 cards out at PSA, and we're getting about 5,000 to 8,000 back a week, if I'm guessing right. So this is for you guys. I do this for you. You know, it's about 45 minutes to an hour, twice a week, and we want to be here to answer any questions that you guys have, anything that you have curious about the market, curious about grading, curious about PSA, whatever it is. If you want to talk about sports, we can talk about ASU beating U of A 70-7, and that'll make me very, 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 very happy. You know, and then basketball team made it. So also, just so you guys know, every Tuesday we also are on Fantasy Sports Today with Craig Mish at 1:10 p.m. That's going to be on. It's going to be on streaming on SportsGrid.com, and also Zubo or Zuno or whatever it is, and Sling and a bunch of different things. So start asking those questions. I'll start answering those questions, and we'll see how this goes. How big is our team? So right now we have 4 full-time employees. Probably going to hire a few more this year and going into next year. Approximately, how long are 20-day subs taking? So we've been saying 2 to 3 months on 20-day subs. It's looking like closer to 3-ish, maybe even a little bit longer right now. We're hoping that speeds up. We're getting a lot of our orders checked in right away. Last week we had over 100 orders checked in. We update our website every single day. Morning, Jake. We update our website every single night with the status of the submissions if they had moved past research and ID. We update everything that goes from research and ID into grading once a week because we have 700 or something subs in. So that's like a 4 to 6 hour process when we do the whole thing. So we can only do that once a week right now. We'll get a better idea as we see what's going through grading and what's going through all the submission process. Just so you guys know, this hat is pre-worn for tomorrow, and it's for my boy Wes. Do you think 2020.89 will be back before next year? Actual price cards, I wish I knew. I don't even know what status it is. You know, like I said before, we have a team that takes care of that stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have the time for it, so we have other guys that are doing it. So if you have a question about a status of an email or a question about a status of a submission, send it to groupsubs@pcsportscards.com. Again, groupsubs@pcsportscards.com. So they'll be the guys that'll always get the answers to your questions. Have you all had issues with USPS delayed shipping times? Yes, it's been terrible. They're running really late. We had a package shipped to us from Delaware on Tuesday last week, and it's still not here. And Frank, that's why last week we made the announcement that we're offering free upgrades to 2-day FedEx for the holiday season. We might do it next year. We're not sure yet, but we want to make sure that everybody gets their cards back. So if you guys are in our submission and something pops, if you didn't get that email, just respond, let us know that you want the FedEx option and give us your phone number, and we will ship your cards back to you FedEx 2-day. Now, for personal submissions, you always have the choice between FedEx 2-day and FedEx Ground. There's no free option for that. You're choosing which one you want. But for group submissions, everybody has the ability to get your card shipped back 2-day FedEx at no additional charge to your normal pricing. Mosaic, 5-day is 5-day service true to time? No, none of the services are true to time right now. But 5 days taking about 3 to 4 weeks. I'm saying it's leaning a little bit towards the 4 weeks right now. We have 3 that are in QA2 right now. 3 of them are in QA2 right now, and I think one is a little bit over around 4 weeks. The other 2 are in the 3-week range. So I think that's going to be consistent. You know, it's holiday season. They're going to be a little bit slower than normal. So I would say if you're sending cards in now, expect them in January if you're sending at that level. Projection for 1986 Clear Jordan PS10. They're going to keep going up. You know, people are going to buy them. There's not that many of them. I was talking to somebody last night about it and told me there's only 300 of them out there. So if there's that few of them, then they're going to go up because people are going to want to buy them. I don't know how real that $220,000 one is right now on eBay. We'll see. All right, all the questions are caught up. I normally don't catch up to questions that fast. So, drink a sip of coffee. Frank, going back to what you said, you know, right now, usually on Tuesdays, we only get 1 bin of mail. And today we had 3. Yesterday we had 6. Last week seemed a little slow, but we still had over 10,000 cards that we sent in. So I think people are sending FedEx and UPS more. But I also think there's like a week backlog just sitting at UPS. And now they're starting to get them out. So we should start seeing more USPS packages move. Who knows? Kalen Horton-Tucker or Luka? Luka, obviously. Come on. Just because Braun says he's good doesn't mean he's the next investment. People are... Your thoughts on cracking open a card and resubmitting? KB Kirk, if you think that they misgraded your card, what's up, Wes? Just for you, buddy. If you think they misgraded your card, undergraded it, then crack it and give it another shot. You know? It's a human looking at it. Off the top of your head, do you know what standard submission has popped most recently? Standard 116 popped last night, I think. I think standard and bulk 116 both popped last night. I told you you'd like that, man. How do you feel about grading NBA Collegiate? Is it worth grading Mellow Autos? Sure. I don't think grading Collegiate cards makes a lot of sense. I did a comparison of this on, I think I did it on Craig Shaw. I was talking to him about it. And if you look at Zion Collegiate stuff hasn't moved. It's the same price that it was last year. What's up, Michael? It's the same price that it was last year. But you look at everything else, and it's 4 or 5 times the price. You know, it's what's in front of you, right? It's the recency bias that people are doing it. I would sell those cards. I wouldn't even buy those cards if it was me. You know, one thing you'll always get from us, we're not going to be that person that's always going to say, this is the best thing ever. You know, we're always going to tell you exactly what we think, exactly how we feel, and we're always going to be honest with you. You know, you work hard for your money. Don't waste it on things that aren't going to go up if that's what your goal is. If you enjoy it and you like the look of those cards, buy them. Probably wait 6 months, it'll probably go down. But buy those. Guys on YouTube, if you're watching this live, this is an Instagram live video. You know, we're about 10 minutes into it. We do this every Tuesday on Instagram, and we're going to do it every Friday on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. You'll see all the times that we go live. Guys on Instagram now, make sure you look down below and hit the question button to ask a question. When is the buying point for Prism football rookie guys like Jefferson, etc.? That's a great question, Card Collector Steve. And I've actually been thinking about a lot of that. What's up, Maddie? To me, what's the difference, right? I don't know what Justin Jefferson's going for right now. Last night I looked up somebody, maybe it was Ayuk, and they're going for like $5, $7, $10. If it's $7 or $10 and your plan is to grade and sell, right now with the premiums you're getting for 9s and 10s, it doesn't make a difference. You know, the $2 or $3 isn't going to be a big percentage when they come back graded. Do you think it's valuable to buy Mosaic product when everyone else is focused? Michael, question button down below. Promise I'll answer. Question button down below. Um, so my strategy with those guys is buy it now, send it into a bulk submission, which is going to cost you like $15 a card. Get it back in August, right? You're not going to get it back in 6 months. You're not going to get it back in 4 months. You might, but don't plan on it. Plan on 8 months. Earlier is better, but plan on 8 months and get those cards in for preseason football. You don't need it in January, February, March, April, or May. You just don't need it. You're not spending the money on the grading. You're just spending the money on the cards. So figure out your budget, buy what you want to buy, send it in for grading, and wait till it comes back to you to sell when football gets hot again. What's the best way to attack the old Tiffany set from 86 to 91? If you're buying it and you're collecting it, just buy graded. That's the easiest thing for me. I don't think it's worth trying to grade that stuff. You're gonna think it's a 10 and you're gonna get 8s and 9s all day long. What is timeline on consignment once you receive the sub back from PSA? Jack Cam 1972. That's a great question. So consignment's one of those things that we don't talk about as much, but timeline's important, right? So we get the cards back. So say a sub pops on a Monday. That sub ships probably on either Monday or Tuesday. We get it back on either Thursday or Friday. We'll get it back, sort it, get everything shipped out, get all the consignment cards sorted out. Those consignment cards will go to our consignment team probably either Monday or Tuesday, and then they'll get up Thursday issue. So you're looking at a week and a half from when they pop to when they get up, maybe 2 weeks. Because remember, it has to travel to us. And we have to get it to the team, we have to get it sorted and everything. They go up, then they'll run for a week. So a 7-day auction. If it's really high-end cards, we run them to end on Sunday night. Then every Tuesday, we send out result emails where you see the results. And you can either get paid, we're going to have to subtract out the value of your submission, you can leave money with us, whatever you want to do, we work that out on the back end. But you get those sheets every Tuesday. So I hope that answered the question. If you have a follow-up, I'll look for it when I'm going through the questions, but I think that was it. So it's probably about a full month to get paid on it, but shipping, week for auction, payment time, it's just that's just what it is. Same strategy with more expensive quarterbacks like Herbert and Burrow. So to me, yes, because you're not going to get a great value in February and March. It's just going to be down. But I would probably send those standard because you're just going to get upcharged, and then you're guaranteeing having them. You just have to understand that you're going to be waiting on them a little bit longer, right? That's my idea. If you're getting high-end cards, you're going to have to go with the higher levels at PSA just because there's no point in going with the lower one and getting upcharged on some of those cards. What do you think about Brandon Ingram? If you ask me about any Duke player, I'm always going to tell you I'm high on them, so that's really not fair. So that's the same as Duke or ASU. If you ask me about any of those guys, I'm always going to be high on them. So, gotta figure out how to get this higher so I could look at both cameras at the same time. I think he should have breakouts every year, man. But he hasn't done it yet. So he's been better and better and better. So I think he could be a star. I think he'd be an all-star. So I don't know what his value is right now offhand, but I would buy him. Are autos patches same as standard cases when submitting? Yes. I've been asked this question a bunch. I don't know why. Unless it's an oversized card, like huge, it's the same price. You don't get the auto graded. Just know that. You're only getting the card graded. If you want a dual service, we don't provide a dual service at this point. I'm wearing this hat as a joke with my friend Wes, and because I got interviewed on about 6 or 7 years ago when I lived in the city, I got interviewed wearing this hat, maybe 5 years ago, who knows, wearing this hat during a blizzard, and Wes likes it, and it's going to snow tomorrow, so I'm wearing the hat. I don't want to keep on wearing the same hats. It's boring. Do you think it's valuable to buy Mosaic when everyone else is focused on Prism? I think when we get to May, June, July, Mosaic is going to be an also-ran. It's not going to be important. Nobody's going to care about it. It's going to be behind Select. It's going to be behind Optic. Low-numbered cards you might be able to get a good value on, but it's going to be the slowest to move upwards, so I would avoid it. Michael, can you stop asking questions? When I send in multiple raw cards of the same player for you to consign, how do you decide whether or not to sell individually? There's a lot. Mike, that's a great question. We're actually not accepting lots for people anymore. We've made a post about this. I think we sent an email out. We'll sell lots of graded cards that come back, like investor lots like that. The problem with selling raw lots is we sold lots that we had 96 cards and 48 cards, and the buyers find 2 cards that have a little bit of damage, like, oh, I need a refund on these 2 cards. Oh, return this. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. Or do that. And it just becomes too much of a management nightmare. So we can't do it. It's just not worth it for us or for the sellers. How long does it typically take for you to get cards back after the grades have problem on Mojo? Depending on the submission, it's about 3 days, 2 to 3 days. So the thing is, the cards get shipped back to my house instead of our office. We're trying to get that changed. We didn't have the office when we put the submissions in, so everything goes to my house. So I have to go home and get it. Rob, if you have any questions, please ask them below using here. Right, I'm happy to answer that question, but please put it down there. Just makes it easier for me to go through the whole process. How long does it typically take? So 2 to 3 days. So if it comes on Tuesday, it usually comes at like 7 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night. So then they come into the office on Wednesday. So it comes in 2 days or 3 days, and then it's here, and then we sort, ship, and we either drop them off at the post office that day or the next day. So it's about a week all in, probably. Anybody have any DeMar DeRozan? I can't speak for everybody else. I don't have any. Playoff Joe Burrow auto worth sending into PSA thoughts. Don't know much about the playoff brand or value. That's probably a thicker card, so I would be very careful sending it in. Usually the thicker patch cards, unless that you gotta look at the sharp, gotta look at the corners on those because there's usually white showing, especially if you've got that blackish background or side or whatever. So I would definitely be careful with it. To me, it's not worth sending in, but people will. What's your favorite 3 cards in your collections? I feel like I get asked this every week, so I always pick like different cards. So let's go up and see what we got today. So we'll go here. We'll go here. We'll go with 3 different cards this week. I don't know if I've done these ones before, but this is always going to be one of my favorites. It's tough to see on there. But triple auto, 3 of the best players ever. Jambalaya Duncan, PSA 10, really tough grade. And I'm just going to go with this David Robinson dual patch. I love these flawless grades cards. I think they're so sweet, the dual patches. I have 2 Grant Hills also. You ask me next week, it'll be different. You know, I also don't have all my inventory here. A lot of it's at my house. So those are 3 of my favorites. Yeah, there's a Soto Black Label back there. There's this. Duncan Dimes. Tatum Dime. Silver. I have some nice cards. Who do we consign with, we sell on consignment. So I'm gonna go back over here. Hi, babe. I wish I knew who you are. Do you think young guys are overpriced if, like, Luka's priced in for multiple MVPs? I think he's expensive, but I think there's also a recency bias when it comes to sports cards, so it's going to be that way. I'm actually working on something pretty cool that's going to be on our YouTube video. It'll be on our YouTube. It's going to be tracking 10 to 20 different players' cards, their pop reports, and their values. So we have the data for the first week, waiting on some pictures of a couple cards, and then I have to put all the data together and make the video. So that should be available. I'm hoping to get it up tomorrow, but that's going to be a cool segment that we're going to do every week. If you want to buy the Giannis, you can feel free to send me an offer. Odds are very, very low that I'm selling it. Your cards are trash. Thanks for showing. My pleasure. Do you think Select will ever catch up to Prism? Will it go to retail? I don't know if it's going to go to retail. I don't think so. I don't think anything's going to catch Prism. I think it's always going to be Prism number 1, Select and Optic number 2. Then if you're looking at those gambling kinds, the grinder kind of product, I would say something like Chronicles, Mosaic, all that stuff in the bottom tier. Then you're going to go to your mid tier products, and then to your upper level products like NT and stuff like that. But every product's not created the same. Kenny, I am not bringing back BGS subs as of now until they're ready to work with us and ready to partner with us to make it a better system for us to give the best service to our customers. We're not going to do it. I literally got BGS 2 back yesterday. I think it came in. It's finally sorted. It's ready to go. I got to send that email out today. I got to send that email out today, and then it's gonna be what it is. They're gonna ship out when they can, like later in the week. But until they're ready to partner with us, it took them 2 weeks to ship the order after it popped. Like, that's crazy. I just don't get that. Would you grade thicker cards like Flawless? I would grade them if they're very clean. You have to be really, really careful, and I would definitely send them to PSA. I send them to PSA first if you think they have sharp corners. Sup, Gem Sports Cards, you know. But I'd be very careful with what I send in right now. Very, very careful with those. They tend to have dents and dings, and especially like iMac and NT with the colored borders, it's really, really hard to get good grades on them. What are some of the biggest cards you've subbed for people, either value, raw, like great cards they got Black Label on? I mean, we've subbed so many cards. It's such a loaded question. We got back a Mahomes Gold Prism Auto a couple weeks ago. We got back an Optic Gold Mahomes. We got back. We sent in a bunch of Mahomes RPAs. We sent in a lot. We sent in Zion RPAs, Joe RPAs, Luka RPAs. You know, we sent in all those cards. Sent in a bunch of high-end Judge autos. Like, we send in a ton of good cards. We have a lot of customers that send to us. There's a reason that we send in 12,000 cards a week. There's a reason that we're the biggest PSA submission. There's a reason that we're probably the biggest PSA customer. You know, we work our butts off, and people trust us. You know, we work hard, so people trust us, and we send everything in. So we see a lot of cards. It's unfortunate because you sort of get a little numb feeling every once in a while, like, oh, that's okay, oh, that's okay, that's okay. And there are really some badass cards that come through here. And that's one of the reasons that we're going to start doing the reveals, right? So every day that a submission comes back, we're going to start doing a reveal. So every single day on YouTube, reveal, so you guys can see what's coming in. And we're going to do some videos of outgoing cards. We put one up last night. We actually just added some graphics to the streams. And we put one out last night and realized that we turned on the wrong microphone. So we had to delete the video because it had no volume except for bombs blowing up and money cha-chinging. Worried about box I sent in as far as modern, ultra modern in one box. Your team process receiving. Justin, if you have a question about one of your submissions, just shoot an email over to groupsubs@pcsportscards.com. I think I remember. Hey, Nutcracker. I think I remember seeing your name, but I'm not 100% sure. I think we sorted 9 bins of mail yesterday, so we have a lot of mail coming in. Any insight into... No, sorry, Matt. I have no idea how long they're going to take. Are you planning to roll out new forms of content on YouTube? Yeah, we're figuring out what we want to put out there. I talked briefly about what we're going to do with tracking some guys' cards and pop reports and stuff like that. We're coming up with some new ideas. If you have any ideas, feel free to shoot them over to me. What's your opinion on Taylor Horton Tucker? If I didn't see that LeBron said something good about him, I wouldn't know who he was. So don't just go by what somebody else says. Do some research on your own. You know, just because Braun says it doesn't mean it's going to happen. While you might not believe it, he's not the boss. How did you gain followers and grow your account? We started last November with under 1,000 followers on Instagram. And then we just started posting mail-based stuff that came in. We have something that we bought that came back, or should have been here on Wednesday last week, and hopefully it comes in today. So post nice cards and people follow you. You know, we post everything that's going out. We post everything that's going in. Post a lot of packages, and that's how we did it, just very organically, right? When you get a PSA sub back, how do you know whose cards are who? So that's a great question. If you want to get the quick answer, it's on the FAQ. I can answer it for you, though. Basically, the one thing, the biggest, what's up, DJ Clack? One of the biggest things that PSA does is they keep your cards in order, right? So if I send in customer 1, 2, and 3, they're going to come back in that order, right? So the first 10 cards are going to be customer 1, second are going to be customer 2, third are going to be customer 3. They're always going to stay in order. Once in a while, something slips, but 95 to 99% of the orders, they're all in order. So we keep track of that. What's up, Zooks? Zooks! So we keep track of everything on spreadsheets and on the back end, so we know exactly where it's going to be when it comes in. Is it easy to sub to PSA? I mean, I think so, but we do it every day. We do thousands of cards a day. If you want to sub through us, we actually have a really good tutorial that's in our highlights on Instagram right now. It's also on YouTube. So that'll show you the process of going through our website to submit to PSA. When we consign, is the percentage taken by you before or after eBay fees? So that's a great question. PCSportscards.com/consignment is where you can find our consignment rates. And you get whatever the net is of the sale, right? We count the eBay fees into the price, right? So if you're at the $1,000 level, I think it's 90%. It might be 92% or 88%. I don't know. Let's use easy numbers. Sales for $1,000, you get 900. Simple. That's it. There's no eBay on top. That's just easy math. You can figure it out yourself. How long do subs typically stay in QA2 before they're popping? Should express subs in there pop in the next day or two? So Big Chung US cards. It's a great question. They could take a day, they could take an hour, they could take a week, they could take 2 weeks. There's a lot of different things that can happen when they're in QA2. So QA2, somebody could review your card, the grade could change, could go up or down. They can unfortunately damage a card. Now they have to go send it back to assembly, get it fixed, get in touch with you or the person that subbed it, tell them what happened, work out a solution, send it back, right? Or it can go into upcharging. Goes into upcharging, could sit on somebody's desk for a day or 2 or 3. You know, it could happen. Or it could be, oh, there's nothing to upcharge here, boom, right through, right? So there's different things. I would say it takes like a day or 2 on average, but there are definitely outliers in both directions. How close do you think PSA 9s and raw comps should be? So flow cards. It's a great question. Also, like I said, we were going to do this thing on some pricing. Eli to Cruz, yes, we sell steel cases. Send us a DM if you're interested in something. We usually have whatever just came out. So how close do you think PSA 9s and raw comps should be? In the past, PSA 9s and raw were the same. Right now, we're seeing a very large spread. So again, I'm going to go into this a little bit more in detail when I do this release of the video on YouTube in the next couple days. What's up, Natty Cards? But PSA 9s seem to have a solid premium right now over a raw card, specifically in basketball and fresh football product. When you're looking at baseball product, not yet, but maybe that's a market that's going to come. We're really going to see. But there's some big spreads out there that I was not expecting to see. Do you sell any collector? Great. I know who Eli to Cruz is now. Collector grade for the win, bro. How long are your 20-day subs taking? 20-day subs take about 3 months at this point. Where are we at here? So we're about halfway through this thing. So I'd say about 3 months. Yosk, whatever your favorite John Candy movie is, my favorite John Candy movie. I just sent cards into you. Are you selling them? Is that what this service is for? And the same question, I sent cards into you. That doesn't mean you're going to sell them. I had to select another option for that, right? Rob, it's totally up to you if you want us to sell them. If you want us to sell them for you, then we will. If not, we're going to send them back to you after you pay for them. It's up to you. We're not going to force you to sell anything. Hold on 1 second, guys. Nutcracker, unfortunately, I can't give you an update on that. That's going to take what it's going to take. I'll look into it. I'll email my rep, but there's no real update other than what I have. Let me see if I can add somebody to this. All right, we're trying to add somebody into this thing. I've never done this before. What's up, Zachy boy?
Hey, everyone.
So now we have Zach on, who is my partner and co-owner of PCSportscards.com. You did lose my hat a little bit. So if you guys have any consignment questions, now is a great time to ask them because Zach will answer those questions for you, and I will answer anything else. Time you're talking about starts at sub date or PSA received. Can you see the questions also, Zach?
Yeah. Josh, you're saying 3 months door to door from when you get it, basically, right? That's what he's asking.
Standard is 3 months is 3 months after they get it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's after they get it. So probably a week after Josh gets it.
What's your opinion on De'Aaron Fox, Zach?
He's got an apostrophe in his name. You do not have an apostrophe in
What's
his
up,
name.
Jay?
So there's that much. Opinion of De'Aaron Fox? Do you want me to give it, Josh?
Yeah, you got it, man.
So I was big on Lonzo Ball in the NCAA, in college, and then I saw De'Aaron Fox torch him, and I realized De'Aaron Fox is in the end, I think now is a good time to sell him versus later, because I don't see that team. Maybe they fight for a 40.
Well, I mean, Bagley's got to stay healthy, right?
Who else did they add? Didn't they get someone else?
Probably a high draft pick, but
Did they sell Buddy Hield or did he move?
I don't know. NBA season ended a long time ago. I know it's starting again. But if Bagley doesn't stay healthy, then they're not going to be any good anyway. All right, next question.
I like that kind of question.
What's the best player to invest in? I love these very detailed questions. They're very specific. So, I think Zach and I have the same feeling on this. Buy premium cards of premium players, right? If you can't afford the premium card of the premium player, buy a lower brand, but buy the best players. If you're looking for a specific player, it's really hard because there's a lot of good options out there. We're buying Luka, Zion, Jawa. Those are the names that we're buying right now.
Yeah, if you're trying to, if we had a home run player, we would only tell you that after we've already bought them so that you would increase the value. No one's going to tell you how to make $1 million if they're not making $100 million kind of thing. Also, that's just gambling. Like, if you want to make a ton of money on a guy, you have to gamble, or you can make a ton of money on a guy by
Baseball, great buy right now. For those of you on YouTube that are watching this after we recorded it, you may not see me talking, but hear a noise coming out. Zach is on the video also on the other side. You can't see him, but we are recording this, so you will hear his voice as well.
I'm on the video on Instagram, though.
Yeah, but I'm recording with my camera also to put it on YouTube. I'm not going to use this video. I'm going to use the other video.
I gotcha.
Thoughts on Kobe White? Personally, I'm not as high on Kobe White as a lot of people. I know my buddy Matt is very, very high on him. We do have a really nice Kobe White coming in. It's not that I don't think he's a good player. It's that I don't think the Bulls are good. So if they're not going to be a playoff team and they're not going to be competing for championships, it's going to be really hard for his stuff to go up.
I think AAA Sportscards had a good question. They didn't do like the big question, but better to buy a PSA 10 of an inferior brand or a PSA 9 of a better brand? I would go with option B. Josh, I don't know what you think.
That is a good question. I think there's going to be a regression to the mean with the PSA 9, so I would probably buy the PSA 10 of the lower brand. I think less people are going to send those in, right? I think that there will be less of them, and a lot of these cards are grading at 50 to 60%. There's not a lot of cards out there that are grading higher than that right now. I mean, top score in baseball last year, but
So you think they're just the pop will stay low?
yeah, I think the percentages are going to stay low on it, and there's just going to be more nines. They're going to be. I think that.
Well, it's a 9 of like a Prism versus a 10 of like an Excalibur,
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're buying a 9 of a Prism versus a 10 of something like Mosaic Optic Select, I'd buy the 9. I'd buy the 10 of the lower brand than the 9 of the Prism.
I think he means like a worse. I'm guessing he means a worse brand than Optic or.
All right. We have like 20 questions here, so let's do this a little bit rapid fire.
Oh, we do. All right, you're in control.
What's your price on 45 days? Depends on the level. Anywhere between $9 and $15. 9 for gaming and vintage, 10 for modern, and 15 for ultra modern. I've seen all the YouTube 10s. Is it common for people to average at least 110 per order? Thoughts? That's tough to say because some people send in 1 card and some people send in 40 cards. Most people are going to get 10s in their orders, but if you only send in 3 cards and you don't know what you're doing, you're probably not going to get a 10.
Yeah, or if you send in all vintage cards, you're not going to get a 10.
Very good point. I've never sent PSA do you ship your cards in top loaders or the plastic cases? You could ship to us in top loaders or card savers. If you ship in mags, we have to take them out and you get charged $1 a card for that.
Yeah, or like a snap case, you wouldn't do that either. I'm guessing that's the plastic case.
Yeah. Do you decline to sell on consignment for any graded cards? Zach? Basically, will you sell any card that you get that's graded?
The only time we wouldn't sell a graded card is if it's, altered and you could prove it or there was a problem with it, but that's irregular. We sell any cards we grade on consignment, we will sell. Any cards we submit for grading, we will sell on consignment.
So,
if it's an off-brand grading, GMA, we will sell them. Just, we don't control what those sell for, so just bear in mind they might not do as well as a PSA 10.
are there any graded cards you won't take for consignment? Zach was answering this. I think you asked the same question twice. Yeah, if it's proven to be altered or something like that, or the slab is fake, we won't take it. If it goes up, we'll send it back to you if somebody tells us. We don't know everything about that right away. But if it's graded, we'll take it no matter what other than that.
One thing we won't do, though, is if it's an SGC 10, we won't write PSA 10 BGS 10 in it as well. We're not going to...
If it's a PSA 7, we'll write might be a BGS 10, though.
If we're having a good day.
Do you take raw cards on consignment?
Yes, we take raw cards on consignment. The only thing is on returns, PayPal still charges us the fee. That's no longer returned. Refunded to us if the item is returned. So if the item is returned due to condition, we are then going to put the fee will be charged to your account. Okay. And I'll look over the card. So, yes, we take raw cards. We're happy to take raw cards. We take a ton of raw cards. That's the only catch versus a graded card. If it's a graded card and this gets returned, we eat the fee.
So, next question. Does it cost money or extra to Re-Slab if you get a card back from PSA with the wrong label? If it's through us, there's no charge at all. If you do it yourself, there should be no charge except you might have to pay shipping there and back. We cover that when it's through us. We just eat the loss on that. But there should be no charge if it's an error, like a mechanical error like that. Will 2017 be $10 instead of $15 in 2021 for PSA subs? So Big Baller Card, I think the answer is yes. I talked to them about it. They are doing that. I don't really understand why. So yeah, I mean, I think they should just extend it, like 2017 and later always, but that's not what they're doing. That may change, so I probably, if you have 2017 cards, would hold them until January. Stephen Molina, if PSA came back as a 9 due to print lines in the back, could it still gem with BGS? It could gem with BGS or PSA. It depends how serious the print lines are. Both of them look at those a little bit differently, and it's the severity and the person that's looking at it. If I look at it, or Zach looks at it, or somebody else looks at it, or whatever grader, everybody looks at that stuff differently, evaluates it differently, so there's always a chance it could gem.
I was looking at it, you guys are getting a lot of 10s.
A lot of 10s.
Same with Josh.
How long does the card sit in research ID before grading? How long in grading? That varies. We talk about this all the time. Every order, not every order is created the same, right? So if you send in 200 of the same card, very easy to research it, very easy to grade it, very easy to assemble it. If you send in a standard order where you have cards from 1909 through 2020, different variations, different tall boys, Gaudy cards, you do all that kind of stuff mixed in there, you're going to take longer to do all that stuff because somebody has to figure out what everything is. So there's no basic answer for that. There's no way to just give you a number. We will work on getting an average, but that average changes based on what the submission is. All right. Ever had a card that was an issue on PSA end? Have high-end, high-value Soto with an indent gum stain that was never there when sent off to grading? Have we ever had an issue that was on PSA? Yeah, we've had issues at PSA, but nothing like that where they put something on the card. So once in a Oh, you mean so you're just saying like the case is too tight?
I'm thinking that's what he's talking about.
Was never there when it's sent off to grading. So if you're talking about like where it looks like there's moisture or something, that's usually because it's too tight in the slab, and they will re-slab that for free. There have been issues when the slab got pinched or something on the corner, and they always tell us and always give us declared value back for the card. It happens once in a blue moon. I'd say 99.5% of our submissions, there's not a problem. Probably once every month or two, we get a call saying there's a problem, and they take care of it.
If it's like in the middle of the card, and it looks like, and when you look at it through the light, you can kind of see through the card's actually not damaged. It's because the case is too tight, it needs to loosen a little bit. Excuse me. So if they re-slab it, it should be fixed.
Yeah. Zach, this is a good one for you. Are consignments always going to be auctions, or can we do buy it now?
I think in the future we'll have more options. We do some buy it now, but basically I'm only doing, due to time constraints, stuff that's like over $1,000. And it has to be fixed price, and you have to give me an auto decline number. And realistically, Pristine Sports, you can send us a picture of that later, and I'll tell you what I think. It has to be a realistic number. If it's just putting up a card, and we haven't used you, and it's not really worth it for us.
So generally also, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong here, if we do that, we do it with the assumption, we do it with the agreement that if it doesn't sell in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that we're going to run on an auction anyway, right?
Yeah, a month, but yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, I tend to want to do it with, like I said, with the auto decline numbers, etc., because we have to, I don't want to be sending you 50 different offers all the time for a card. If you want that, you're probably better off doing it yourself. I'm not, I want your business. I don't not want your business, but I don't want you to be upset. But we will, in the future, have more of that. That's for sure.
that's a really good question. We get that one a lot. So that's a really good one to have an answer for. With the mags, we usually either reuse them or box them up, and they usually sit in piles in our office. So if you're looking for some mags or something, let us know. We'll figure something out for you. Card collector with a nice comment. I've been bouncing. I'm going to start subbing with you, Josh. PC Sports Cards. Been bouncing between Mark's Level Up, KK, but I think you're the best. We really appreciate that. You know, we do everything we can, and we try to be transparent so you guys know exactly what's going on all the time.
Lots. Bad if I don't know who any of those people are.
You're not going to know anybody. Okay. What's your opinion on cards that hit a 10 that shouldn't be? Example, large dent or scratch. Is a 10 a 10 in this case? Kodiak Biller. To me, a 10 is a 10. I mean, if it's something egregious, maybe you have a case. If it's like a little ding on a corner, that could still be a 10. If it's like a crease going through the card, yeah, you have something to complain about, and then I would contact PSA and have them review it and take advantage of the program they have in place to double check the grades. But if you want to be a professional, grader, they're hiring, right? That's the answer. So I believe their grades. Somebody else asked a good question. Goose Cards. Have you ever resubmitted a 9 trying to get a 10? Happens all the time. You know, different graders, different days. It happens all the time. You know, it's an opinion. You're paying for an opinion. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. Have you heard rumors of PSA price increases post-January 1 from anyone you trust? Football card guy? No. I mean, I think that they should raise prices specifically on gaming cards and probably on ultra modern and maybe standard even. But I haven't heard anything. I actually don't think it makes any, with the purchase that's going through, I don't think it makes any sense for them to make any changes before the takeover. So I don't think that makes any sense at all. But you never know. It's not my decision. Zach, what do you think about that?
I didn't think about what you said, but I think, well, first off, if we did know, we wouldn't be able to say it out loud.
Of course.
Which we don't, but just for the record, yeah, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense to make any changes until they hand over to the new management, and at which point I would assume that there are going to be a lot of changes because someone is buying the company to try to make more money out of it. So, does that answer the question?
Buy it fresh. That's one of the most ridiculous rumors I've ever heard. Someone told me that PSA stopped grading till they catch up and computer installed. Like, who's making this stuff up? Don't believe everything you hear, guys.
What does that mean, catch up and computer installed?
I don't understand how you could catch up but not grade anything. Like, none of that makes any sense to me. Cardboard investment. We have 2 offices. One is on Long Island and one is in Queens of New York. So we're both in New York. In a sub, do some cards pop first or all at the same time? They all pop at the same time. They might put them in the system first. I don't know because I don't look for individual cards. I know there's some people out there that track pop reports of cards to see when they're put in. They might do that. We get the email that says the sub is complete. We do a check every night to make sure that we get all the orders. But I don't know what their system is for the pop report.
Yeah, I don't either. I think, yeah, some do get entered, but it's going to be, I don't think some get entered on different days, but you would have to track, like Josh was saying, basically.
So we're getting through these questions really good now. All right. Do they ding you for a bowed surface on Topps Chrome cards like LeBron James? Zach, this is more down your alley when it comes to 2003 LeBron James cards, huh?
The answer is no. They don't. Not just that, but any of those older Chrome cards, that does not affect the grade. If it's, the normal, I'm just going through. If it's, if it's like this, just a little bit, no. And it'll flatten when it's in the card state right away, but if it's just like this, if it's like this, then yes, they definitely. But if it's just, yeah, if it's just like that much, no, you're good.
I don't think they really knock it at all. Especially because those cards are coming in top loaders and card savers, so they're gonna take it out and they're just gonna grade it and put it in something flat again. I don't think it's an issue. So, do you think centering or surface is more important for PSA? Surface and corners are the most important for PSA. Centering is the most important for BGS. So I actually don't even think that's really up for debate. You know, that's pretty much what the standard is, right, Zach?
Yeah, because the centering is hard to argue objectively. Subjectively, it's pretty objective. Everything else is up to the grader. So as long as it's centered, one grader might see an 8 surface, one might see a 10 at BGS. You never know.
Live conversation between Gene Wilder and Brett Favre.
Am I Brett Favre?
I'm Gene Wilder.
Yeah, I knew that much. Does that mean I'm going to send inappropriate pictures to people?
Is it worth resubbing a high-end 9 1-2 times for a shot? Is it worth it? It depends what the card is.
Value is this high-end card?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your cost, right?
If it's a real high-end card of ours, and I think it should be, oh wow, that's even worse.
That's terrible. Sports Cards 90, cut off.
Not nice. If
5,000 plus. So you're looking at $500 to grade it every time.
yeah, I would. It would really depend if I thought the card's a gem. I normally probably at least once for us. Depends.
We'll probably send it 2 or 3 times, and I just won't know about it.
That's true. But it is more difficult now. It's more of like a risk reward cost proposal because you can't send to Beckett for 2 days for $50 anymore either. That's $200 or something.
125.
PSA, even if you send it, so if you send it in the slower service and then they upcharge it to $1,000, the card's locked for 2 months at least.
No, you could send it in for Express for 3 to 4 weeks for that, right? And get upcharged.
Fine, but exactly, but you're going to get upcharged to whatever number of dollars.
Right.
If it's a 9 and you think it is a good shot, I would resub it.
The problem with the biggest problem with subbing a card like that at a lower value isn't the upcharge. It's the risk you're taking on that if something goes wrong, like you send in a $7,000 card and you put a $19.99 declared value on it, and something goes wrong, you just lost $5,000, and you can't really do anything about it. So that's the biggest risk with sending at a lower level.
Yeah, if they damage it while slabbing.
Yeah.
Which has happened.
Yeah. Doesn't happen often, but it's happened. Do you expect a price increase in grading? If so, when? Yes, we do. I don't know when. My guess would be after the new team takes over. Not sure. They could do it tomorrow. They could do it January 1st. They could do it March 1st, February 1st. Whatever day they want, they could do it. They could do it on Valentine's Day. It doesn't make a difference to them when they do it. But it wouldn't make sense for them not to. Looking at the numbers, we haven't slowed down. We're still 10 to 12,000 cards a week. Guys, 10 to 12,000 per week. That's 500,000 cards a year that we're going to send into PSA. We're about to break 400,000 this year. We're not the only ones. There's other people out there that send a lot of cards. Nothing like us, but there's a lot of people out there. I think the most I've heard outside of us is like 15 or 20,000 a month. So,
Well, it just should be a good indicator also of how the market's doing.
yeah.
Like, we have a big customer base, so if our number's not going down, you would think across the board it would still be doing well.
It's crazy. Let's see what's next. Oh my God, Melina, we're not answering this question every week. I'm sorry, we're just not doing it. It's gonna get. I didn't mean to click it, so it's gonna get ignored. You and your freaking Lucas Samanich, man.
You see other people going. I think it's Simonic, Josh. I'm not sure.
Whatever. You know me and names. We'll be getting 50 plus of the same card back. Want to consign them? In your opinion, what's the best way to consign them? Lots of 5, lots of 10, sell all in one lot? Zach, that's a great question for you as the consignment man. Hey, Liam, you like that ass whooping we put on U of A?
Yeah, he probably does. I would say it depends on the card, what they sell spread it out over a week. I would probably, if there was 50 of the same card, I would probably actually do all, just to kind of get, so that takes the question out of it. I would do a lot of 10, a lot of 5, a couple singles, do that over 3 days, you know, do one lot of 10, one lot of 5, 5 singles, that's 20. Another day, the same thing.
Probably do them one Wednesday and then the next Wednesday, right? So they don't end the same week.
Yeah, if they're $10 slabs, it's different. But I tend to think it used to matter a lot more. There's such a big market now for these cards, and there's so many buyers that I find that they do well any way we place it. They sell for the same average number. I probably wouldn't do. I'd want to make it easy for the buyer to multiply, right? Especially if they're 10s or they're decent cards. So, you know, if there's 10 cards in a lot, it's much easier for the buyer to figure out how much they're paying per card than if there's 7. I know it's simple math, but you want to make it as easy as you can on a buyer.
Yeah, and like we always say, right? They're really commodity cards. So it's going to sell for that $250 to $270. If it's a $250 card, it's going to sell in that $240 to $260 range every single time. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. B. Keenan, this is a good question. If two people submit the same card, how do you make sure they don't get mixed up? So this is one of those things that we have in our FAQ on the website, pcsportscards.com. Basically, like we talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but PSA keeps the cards in order. So when we send in, if your customer 1 and customer 5 has the same card as you, customer 1's card is going to stay in the same exact order. So it'll be the third card in the order. Customer 5 card is going to be a little bit later. So they're always going to stay in order. So we're actually getting towards the end of this. We have a couple minutes left. Guys, if you're still watching on YouTube, you know, subscribe. We're going to do this every week, every Tuesday. Hopefully I can get Zach on every Tuesday also. He's doing a lot of consignment work right now, getting all the sheets out to all the customers. We're going to do it every Friday. That we're going to live it on YouTube and on Facebook. So we're going to do a lot of these. We want to be able to be transparent so you guys know everything that's going on, know about our process for all the things that we can do for you. And we could talk about the card market in general. It's been a lot of fun doing this every week. So let's we have a few more questions that we can try to get to. Yeah, it cuts you off in an hour, right? And we're at like 58 minutes. I'll get a countdown. So can you grade fillers? I saw you ask that question. I don't know what that means. Are you talking? Yeah, I don't know what it means. So can you be a little bit more specific on what a filler is? Maybe. Answer that. Molina. So, Musco, Purple, great question. Can I pay for half of the sub to get the cards and consign the other half? Unfortunately, we can't split your order that way. You can either choose option 1, which is no money up front, or option 2, where you pay for the whole thing and we send it back. JT is my PC. I've never heard of anybody grading those cards, so I don't think you can. That's definitely a question for PSA. How long is he? You know, like the little white security cards, or the what? Yeah, like, I don't know. Why would you want to grade those? Like, who's gonna buy? Got it. How long is each assembly? QA, Q1. It varies too much to give an estimated time. I would say once it gets into assembly, you're looking at a couple weeks. Yeah, Liam's a offensive lineman for USC, who's a cheating football program for all you that don't know.
Yeah, I got cheating again?
Well, I mean, they were 5 yards offside when they had that onside kick against us. I guess if you feel good about cheating to win, then that's cool.
You probably feel good.
Yeah, it probably feels good. Any issues in sending in memorabilia with proper certs? Memorabilia is something we don't really do a lot of. Zach, I mean, you can answer that because you handle it. Yeah, I guess so, Kevin. From Kevin Medora.
If it has the proper certs, we'll sell it. Just realize if it's not certain values, the shipping costs are going to be high, so they don't necessarily sell great online. Sell well online. So that's the only issue, Kevin. You've done a ton of business with us, so yeah, we'll take care of whatever you got.
The problem that I feel with consignment, and I don't handle it, so Zach always has the trump card on this one. like frames and pictured stuff to me, it's like there's so much risk in shipping it that I don't like it, you know, because if the frame breaks, then we lose money.
That's true.
Why is it worth going to a group submission other than doing my own submission? Is the process simpler? There's a bunch of reasons. Lower cost, most likely, depending on how many cards you're sending in. If you're looking to send in at the 20 or 25 day level, or 20 day level, I guess, you can't do that directly right now. You have to do that through a group submission. And we communicate really well, so you'll always see the process of everything, and we're always here to answer your questions. So there's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different group submissions out there. Choose what's best for you. We think we do the best job. You know, we're told that we do. I don't know. You know, I know there's a couple guys that are pretty good. Circle Wave, will you guys be...
We know we do the best. You know, that's just whether you believe we do the best is the question.
Will you guys be offering PSA dual grading service in the future? It's a possibility that we're going to do it. We get a lot of requests for it. Not enough to make it worth doing. It's one of those things that it's going to be... There's not a lot of people that are asking for it, but maybe we'll do a little poll and see what people want it.
We wouldn't be against it, but it wouldn't be something that's rolling like our other subs right now, right? If we don't have the demand, we're not going to send in 7 cards a week. It might be like a once-a-month thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's a good 10 rate per 100 cards? If you're at 70 to 80%, you're doing really well. So, in my opinion,
I would say 50. You're going to make money even if you go 50%.
My opinion is that you'll definitely make, if you're going 9s and 10s and you're at 50%, you're making money. Your 9s are at least breaking even at this point, and your 10s are your money. If you're sending in 100 cards and you're really being picky and you go 100 for 100, you left cards on the table that probably could have been 10s. So I would want to be in that 70 to 80% range, because that means you know what you're looking for and you're probably getting all the 10s you can get, and you're probably maximizing your profit at that point.
Yeah, the other approach is kind of what I said is anything over 50%, I think I'm making money, so I'm okay with it. Obviously, I'd like to have, less 9s and 8s, but if I'm making money on it, then that's okay. Josh does have a good point, though. If you go 100 for 100, that means there were definitely some that would have gemmed that you didn't send in, which is a good point, too.
Are there any guys we like for PSA subs besides yourselves? Just wondering. I don't track how they do it. I don't think anybody offers the same communication that we offer, the same price that we offer, the same website that we offer. I don't know that somebody might. I don't know that anybody offers the same service that we do, and I know that nobody offers the same ways to pay and the same options that we offer with Consignment.
They do the smiley face thing after.
Yeah, I know. All right, one big question from Yosuke. Favorite sandwich chain? Zach? Blimpies. All day long, Blimpies. Kodiak Biller, if you're rolling at 85-90% for 10s and you want to be hired by PSA, they are hiring. Get out there and get a job. So, all right. Yosuke's one of our employees, guys, so he's asking some good questions here, and I'm going to throw this one back at him. I do appreciate it. This is one of my favorite hats. And Yosuke, you know you're the style guy, so PC merch comes out when Yosuke designs PC merch. Right, Zach?
Oh, yeah. Get that money.
So, all right. We're going to sign off of this. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions. It's been great, Zach. I'm actually really happy. Zach surprised me by coming on here. I didn't expect this. YouTube folks, subscribe so you see what's going on, see all these things. We will be live, like I said, on Friday, sometime in the middle of the day again, early morning, afternoon, whatever. I'll probably try to get a post out or something about it. Maybe in the Thursday night video, I'll say what time I'm going to go on Friday. This is great to do, We really appreciate doing this. We think it's good for us. We think it's good for you. And look forward to doing it again next week. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you in a little bit, Zach.